everyone. Today we are going to start with one of the very important topics in quantitative aptitude, which is permutations. Okay, so the feeling is permutations, combinations of probability. It is a very difficult topic. ये सबको लगता है, but there is nothing in that. If you are able to learn it in a right way, these topics are actually very easy. All right. So we will start with the very basic things, and then we'll see, try to solve the toughest questions in these particular topics. Okay, so we will see that in this particular sessions we are completely learning permutation. We shouldn't be having any doubt in permutation. That is what I can guarantee you. All right, so let's see how it goes for us. Now we'll start with the basics of permutations. Okay, so let's say if there is a theater where there are, what do you say, 40 chairs. Okay, there's a theater where there are 40 chairs. I'm taking R is equal to 40, and the number of people are 100. Okay, the number of people are 100, and 100 people want to be seated. Okay, but there are only 40 chairs. Let's say there are only 40 chairs, but 100 people want to be seated. Okay, so now all the 100 people goes in, and the first chair can be occupied by any of the 100 people. That means it has got 100 options, not that 100 people will sit. It has got 100 options. The first chair has got 100 options. The second chair has got the remaining 99 because one would be seated here. The third one would be 98. Now if I go that way, if there are 40 chairs, okay, if there are 40 chairs, I think it will be till 61. 61 to 100, 40 are done. Okay, so now there is no way. The problem is, if anybody is asking in how many ways these 40 chairs are occupied by 100 people, okay, I cannot manually multiply it and tell कि वो क्या है. Okay, that is the reason permutation comes into the picture. Okay, so if they are saying there are 100 people who want to be seated, but there are only 40 chairs, in how many ways these 40 chairs will be occupied? Because anyways these 100 people will not be seated, everybody would not get the seat, but then all the 40 chairs will be seated. So how many ways it will be occupied? So when I do this, I cannot actually put it into answer, क्योंकि मेरे को ये manually solve करना पड़ेगा, which is a very tough task. Okay, so what I can do is, I know that 5 factorial is equal to 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. 7 factorial is 1 2 3 4 5 up to 7, right? So n factorial is 1 into 2 into 3 up to n, correct? So can I write it in terms of factorial? I can write it in terms of factorial, but for factorial it should always start with 1. लेकिन यहाँ पे 1 से तो नहीं है. So what I can do is, because there is no 1 here, I will manually multiply it. Okay, क्या क्या missing है यहाँ पे? 60 missing है, 59 missing है, 58 missing है. Okay, till 1 it is missing. So I am manually multiplying these numbers. Okay, I am manually multiplying these numbers. Now when I am multiplying these numbers, I cannot multiply it unnecessarily, right? It is violating the rules of mathematics. So what I can do is, when I am multiplying it, I will also divide it, so that I am satisfying the rule of mathematics कि ऐसे ही तो हम लोग multiply या add नहीं कर सकते. Correct? So now it is fine. So now can I write this particular thing as 1 into 2 into up to 100, which is 100 factorial. Okay, divided by 1 into 2 into up to 60, which is 60 factorial. Right, now I want to put it into variables. I know that 100 is equal to n. So instead of 100 factorial, I will write it as n factorial. And I know that 60, I can say it is n minus r, which is 100 minus 40, correct? Which is 60. So instead of that, I can write it as n minus r factorial. And this is the formula for permutation, which is NPR. Okay, this is the formula for permutations, which is NPR, n factorial divided by n minus r factorial. I hope everybody of you got this one. So when there are 40 chairs, okay, and 100 people want to be seated, in how many ways these 40 chairs will be occupied? I can write it as 100p 40, 100p 40. Okay, and उसका फॉर्मूला क्या है? उसका फॉर्मूला है n factorial divided by n minus r factorial, which is 100 factorial divided by 100 minus 40, 60 factorial, and that is what we got here, correct? So instead of doing all this, okay, if I know the formula, which is n factorial divided by n minus r factorial, I can do these questions directly. इसीलिए हम लोग permutations use करते हैं to solve complicated questions or to give a format to complicated numbers. Okay, उसको एक way में दिखाने के लिए, that is why we are doing this. Okay, I hope everybody of you understood this one. All right. So now the next thing which we are going to discuss is how do we calculate it. Okay. तो अभी हमको calculation तो समझ में आया, as a formula I understood what is the calculation. Okay, so let's say I want to solve 12, what you say, let's say there are 12 people, okay, and four chairs are there. Okay, there are 12 people and four chairs are there. So in how many ways these four chairs will be occupied? It is 12p4. Okay, it is 12p4. Now for the representation, I represented it as 12p4. But can I calculate it? Yes, I can calculate it because it is a smaller number. Okay, क्योंकि एक smaller number है, I can definitely calculate, and the formula is n factorial divided by n minus r factorial. The problem with the formula is it is bit lengthy, तो हम लोग formula use नहीं करेंगे. But because I have to tell you initially by using formula, हम लोग ये देखते हैं एक बार. So n factorial means 12 factorial divided by 12 minus 4 factorial, which I can write it as 12 factorial divided by 8 factorial. Okay. Now 12 factorial means 12 into 11 into 10 into, okay, 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 1. Okay. मेरे को इतना सब कुछ लिखना पड़ेगा. Right. Now this is 8 into 7 and 8 factorial basically, into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Now this and this will get cut. Okay, and my answer will be 12 into 11 into 10 into 9. Okay, मेरे को ये कट ही करना था तो लिखना क्यों है? If I am cutting it anyways, why should I write it unnecessarily? Okay, so that's why we are not going to use the formula, but everybody should know the formulas. Okay, आपको formula पता होना चाहिए whether you use it or not, because until and unless you know the traditional methods, you will not be able to know or remember the shortcuts. Okay, ये एक चीज है जो हमेशा याद रखना चाहिए. Whether you use the formula or not, you should always know the formula. Okay, so now according to this, what I will do is, if it is given to me that you solve what is 12p4, okay, or if four chairs are there and 12 people are there, in how many ways four chairs are occupied, which is 12p4. What I will do is, here I can see this value as 4, right? Okay, so 12 ko drag it down to four numbers. Okay, drag this 12 down to four numbers: 12, 11, 10 and 9. Okay, then I will be left out with my answer. So instead of writing all these complicated things, I can just write this way, right? तो इससे क्या होगा, मेरा आंसर इजी हो जाएगा, मेरे को थोड़ा जल्दी आंसर मिल जाएगा. दैट्स इट. ओके, देयर इज नो अदर रीजन. इफ आई एम सेइंग व्हाट इज 19, what you say, 19p3. ओके, इफ आई वांट टू राइट व्हाट इज 19p3, ओके, ऐसा करूंगा तो डिफिकल्ट हो जाएगा. ओके, बट I have 3 here. Drag this 19 down till 3 numbers: 19 into 18 into 70. Okay. Now you might have a doubt कि अगर आपसे पूछ लिया, okay, for example they ask you what is 27p21. Okay. Now here it is 21, so I have to drag it down till 21 numbers, right? Okay, हमको drag it down till 21 numbers करने पड़ेगा और उसको multiply भी करना पड़ेगा. Now in that case, examiner will not ask you the value. Okay, see, wherever it is possible, he will ask you. Okay, they are also asking the questions logically only. So don't worry about all these things. Okay, what you say, unnecessary doubts mat lagana. Okay, how much ever possible they will ask you to calculate, which is not possible, आपको ऐसे format लिखने के लिए बोलेंगे. Okay, you just have to write it in a right format and it is done for you guys. Okay, I hope everybody of you understood this one. All right, so ये आपको अच्छे से समझना है, then only we can proceed to permutation. Okay, now next thing is, what is permutation? Basically permutation होता क्या है, यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, when there were 40 chairs. Okay, when there were 40 chairs and there were 100 people. Okay, when there were 40 chairs and there were 100 people, what I have to do is, first of all, because all the 100 people cannot be seated, all the 100 people cannot be seated. Out of these 100 people, I should select 40 people. Out of this 100 people, I should select 40 people. Correct? Okay. So let's say out of this 100 people, I selected 40 people. ओके जिसको हम एक सिलेक्शन की तरह लिखते हैं लेटर ऑन वी विल टॉक अबाउट दिस व्हेन वी आर डूइंग कॉम्बिनेशन ओके बट जस्ट टू गिव यू एन आइडिया when I am selecting 40 people out of 100 people, I will write it as 100 C 40. That means I am just selecting 40 people out of 100 people. But here, if I select 40 people out of 100 people, my work is not done because they are saying you have to make these 40 chairs get occupied by you, these 100 people. सही है तो just by selecting 40 people out of 100 people my work is not done. I have to make them sit here. Okay, मेरे को सिर्फ सेलेक्ट नहीं करना है यहाँ पे उनको अरेंज भी करना है. That means after I do this operation, okay, मैं एक बार ये ऑपरेशन करने के बाद okay, after selecting them, what I will do is all what you say any of these 40 people will be seated here. Correct? Next one, any of the 39 people will be seated here, any of the 38 people will be seated here, 37 people will be seated here up to 1. Okay, which I can write it as 40 factorial, which I can write it as 40 factorial. There what we got the answer earlier जब हम लोगों ने ये solve किया था, when I considered it as 40 chairs, when I took it as 100, 99, 98 and all, okay, मेरे को answer आया था 100 P40 or 100 factorial divided by 60 factorial. This is the answer I got. Right? Now in this case, when I am using a different approach, where I am saying that I will select 40 people first out of 100, okay, which is selecting 40 out of 100 is 100C40. And after I select them, my work is not over. I have to make them sit here. Okay, अभी मेरे पास 40 लोग हैं. The first chair can be occupied by 40. Second chair can be occupied by 39, 38 up to 1. So after that, it is, sorry, 40 factorial. So it is selection and then arrangement. Okay, it is selection and then arrangement. Now, let me tell you that the answer for this one and the answer for this one will be the same. इसका आंसर और इसका आंसर बिल्कुल सेम है. So what I understood here is, okay, see wherever you are having a doubt, आपको फिर से देखना है, एक बार रिवाइंड करके आप लोग देखिए. Don't have any kind of a doubt here. मैं आपको slowly यहाँ पे समझा रहा हूँ. Okay, so always go at your own pace. Fine. So what I am trying to tell you is permutations questions, okay, can be done in two ways. One, directly permutation. One, first do the selection and then arrangement. Why am I telling it is the what you say the formula or I would say the definition of permutation is selection into arrangement. Selection into arrangement. So whenever I am doing permutation, I am not only selecting them, I am arranging them also. Okay, तो यहाँ पे सिर्फ selection नहीं होता है, यहाँ पे arrangement भी होता है, and that is a definition for permutation. So when there are 100 people and there are 40 chairs, the first approach I can take is I will arrange. Okay, I will arrange this or I will occupy this 40 chairs by using 100 people in how many ways? 100p 40 ways. That is by you doing permutations directly. Okay, by doing permutations directly. Or else I will do selection first. That means I will select 40 people out of 100, which is 100C40. Okay, and then once 40 people are selected, the first chair can be occupied by any of the 40, then 39, 38 up to 1 multiplied by 40 factorial. इन दोनों का आंसर सेम आएगा. वो कैलकुलेशन हम लोग बाद में देखेंगे. Okay, but as of now understand that both the answers are the same, one and the same. And यहाँ पे permutations का definition ये है कि it is selection into arrangement. So wherever you see seating arrangement, whether it is linear arrangement, whether it is circular arrangement, or any kind of an arrangement. Wherever you see arrangement, it is permutation. Wherever you see selection, just selection. I want to make a committee of 5 people, okay, out of 10 people, selection. पांच बच्चे हैं, 5 boys are there, 5 girls are there, and I want to, what you say, select 2 leaders out of them. Selection है, okay. So let's say, for example, let's say, um, Indian cricket team is recently India versus England happened, right? So around 16 people, okay, a team of 16 people went to England, okay. Like on the day of the match, how many people are playing? On the day of the match, only 11 players are playing. That means I have to select 11 players out of 16 players. So these many combinations I will get. I have to select 11 players out of 16 players. इतने सारे combinations मेरे को आएगा, which I call it as selection, or okay, or combination, which I call it as selection or combination, right? Okay, but let's say I got a call from the, let's say, BCCI, not coach को call मिला है या captain got the call, and they said, out of the squad, you select 11 players, but out for all these 11 players, give them the ranking also. You are not only selecting 11 players, you should also give the ranking for those 11 players. So what I can do is, instead of doing directly now, first what I will do is, out of these 16 players, first I will select 11 players, right? Okay. Now after that, my work is not done. I should give them rankings also. Now the first rank can be given to any of the 11 players. The first rank can be given to any of the 11 players. Second rank can be given to any of the remaining 10 players. Third rank can be given to 9 players up to, okay, up to 1. So which I can write it as 16C11 into 11 factorial. Okay, out of 16 players, I am not only selecting 11 players, but I am also arranging these 11 players into 11 factorial ways. Okay, so here there is both selection and arrangement. यहाँ पे selection भी हो रहा है, यहाँ पे arrangement भी हो रहा है, and I will call it as permutation. And instead of doing this, I can directly do it as 16p11. Okay, instead of doing this, I can directly do it as 16p11 क्योंकि दोनों का आंसर सेम आएगा. Okay, I hope you guys are now understanding what is permutations. Okay, so अच्छे से समझो, permutation is selection and arrangement. Okay, formula है n factorial divided by n minus r factorial, but we are not going to use the formula. Okay, so if I have got 17, sorry, if I have got 17p5, okay, how can I write? Drag this down to 5 numbers. Drag this down to 5 numbers. That's it. That should be the answer. Okay, as simple as that, right? Okay, so let's see some of the very basic questions. A intro hai. Okay, this is only the introduction for permutations. Okay, so let's see very basic questions. After that, we'll get into the core permutations questions. All right. Okay, next one. Now, in how many ways 5 people can be seated in 8 chairs? In how many ways 5 people can be seated in 8 chairs? Now, in this case, 8 chairs will not be occupied, but all the 5 people can be seated. Correct? So, what I will do is, okay, I can directly write it as 8p5. I can directly write it as 8p5, or I can do it this way. Okay, or else I can do it this way, where I say these are the 5 people. ये 5 लोग हैं. The first person can occupy any of the 8 chairs, any one of the 8 chairs. The second person can occupy any one of the remaining 7 chairs, or 6 chairs, or 5 chairs, or 4 chairs. So my answer is 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 into 4, which is 8p5. Okay, I already told you what is 8p5. Drag 8 down till 5 numbers. That's okay. दोनों same ही है. Okay, both of them are same. Correct. Now, in this case, in how many ways can five chairs be occupied by eight people? Now, here there are five people and eight chairs. Okay, and here there are five chairs and eight people. Now, will there be any difference in the answer? There is no difference in the answer. यहाँ पे कोई भी difference नहीं है. Okay, sometimes the people can be more, okay, people can be less and chairs can be more, or sometimes chair can be less and people can be more. Okay, but then there is no difference in the answer at all. आपको कुछ भी नहीं करना है. Whichever is a bigger number here, take that one. Okay, and P and 5. Or I can say five chairs have to be occupied. Five chairs have to be occupied. These are the five chairs. First chair can be occupied by any of the eight people, seven people, six people, five people, and four people. Correct? Okay. So this should be the answer, and you need not get confused here. Okay. So whether number of chairs are more or number of people are more, you need not get worried about it. Fine. Okay, so let's go for the next one here. मैं बस यहाँ पे एक basics आपको cover करना हूँ so that you shouldn't be having any doubts later on. Okay. Okay. So let's see one of the questions. Now, in how many ways seven people be seated in 10 chairs? Okay. If one person, okay, I person नहीं है, ये one person है. Okay. So if one person has to be seated in a specific chair, if one person has to be seated in a specific chair. Now, if this condition was not given, okay, if this condition was not given, okay, everybody must have told ki answer is definitely 10 p 7, correct? Okay, 10 chairs are there and 7 people have to be seated. Answer is 10 p 7. But here one person has to be seated in a specific chair. Now, out of these 10 chairs, okay, kitne bhi chair ho, let's say this chair or any specific chair, there is one person who is already seated or will be seated. So this chair also will not be considered now. This one person will also not be considered क्योंकि वो chair भी fixed है. That person is also fixed. Okay. So I can definitely say that this chair and this person is occupied. So now the number of chairs are 9 and the number of persons are 6. So my answer is 9p 6. सही है. Okay. Now you shouldn't be having any doubt in this. So छोटे छोटे conditions अगर दे रहे हैं, you should be able to sort it out very easily. Okay. I hope everybody of you got this one. Fine. All right. So let's go for the next question. Okay. हम लोग next question एक बार देखते हैं. How many ways 4 letters be posted in 3 post boxes? Okay. Now बच्चों को हमेशा repetition और non repetition का बहुत doubt रहता है. Okay, where repetition is there, where repetition is not there. Okay, repetitions and non repetitions are very logical. See, in this case, okay, in this case, when 5 people are seated in 8 chairs, okay, now when there are 8 chairs or how many ever chairs, one chair can occupy only one person. One chair can occupy only one person, and one person can be seated in only one chair. Okay. Now don't say that we will adjust or ऐसा नहीं है. Logically आप इसको समझो. Okay, one chair can occupy only one person and one person can be seated in only one chair. So I can say here also from the people side also there is no repetition, from the chair side also there is no repetition. So is there anything with the repetition here? आपको repetition के बारे में सोचने का जरूरत ही नहीं. Okay, because here repetition is not possible. Okay, now in this case, in how many ways 4 letters be posted in 3 post boxes? हमको ये सोचना है. One letter can be posted in only one post box. So from the letter side, is there any repetition? From the letter side, there is no repetition. Okay. Now 3 post boxes. Now can one post box accommodate multiple letters? Yes, one post box can definitely accommodate multiple letters. So I can say in this case, okay, in this case, there is a repetition because post boxes can accommodate मल्टीपल लेटर्स. तो हमको ये याद रखना है कि यहाँ पे रिपीटिशन होगा. ओके, सो आई कैन नॉट डायरेक्टली यूज द मेथड विच आई वाज यूजिंग क्योंकि यहाँ पे रिपीटिशन होगा. ओके, दीज पोस्ट बॉक्सेस कैन फिल अगेन एंड अगेन, अगेन एंड अगेन. ऑलराइट, सो व्हाट आई शुड डू? इन हाउ मेनी वेज 4 letters be posted? Okay, how many ways 4 letters be posted? Okay, now the first letter has got how many options? It can be posted in any of the three post boxes. Okay, now the second letter, how many options? Any of the three. Okay, यहाँ पे let's say these are the three post boxes and here one of them is put. Can I put it again? I can definitely. So the second letter also has got three options. Third letter also has got three options and the fourth letter has also got three options. So I can say that it is definitely 3 power 4. Okay, it is definitely 3 power 4. Okay, तो यहाँ पे बहुत simple है, logic is very simple. Wherever repetition is there, you will understand that there is a repetition. Okay, and you have to deal with repetition in that way only. Fine, let's go for the next one. Okay, okay. In how many ways three letters be posted in four post boxes? Okay, now three letters have to be posted in four post boxes. Here letters are less and post boxes are more, but it doesn't matter because I have to consider for letters here. The first letter can be posted in how many post boxes? Four post boxes, any of the four. The second letter has also got four options and the third letter has also got four options, because once I post it in a post box, okay, I can still post. Okay, post box can accommodate multiple letters, correct? So I can say this is 4 into 4 into 4, 4 cube, which is 64 is the answer. Okay, so here you shouldn't be having any doubts. Okay, so यहाँ पे the what you say, the message was very clear that because there was a repetition here and I understood that there is a repetition, तो यहाँ पे मैंने repetition use किया. Okay, now where all repetitions are there? Okay, कहाँ कहाँ पे repetitions होता है? When you are talking about living things or things which living or non-living things which generally exist. Okay, let's say in my hand there is a marker. Now, if this marker is here, can it be simultaneously anywhere else? It cannot be simultaneously anywhere else because it really exists. ये सच में exist करता है, इसीलिए ये कहीं और नहीं रह सकता है. Okay, that is a thing with repetition. Where repetition happens is, okay, repetition happens somewhere if it is a container and it can accommodate multiple things. Repetition happens. Or second way is if something is virtual and not real, repetition happens. For example, let's say I want to make a three-digit number. I want to make a three-digit number. Okay, and the first digit I filled it with 2. The second digit also, can I fill it with 2? Yes, I can fill it with 2 because this 2 really doesn't exist. ये exist नहीं करता है, virtual है. Okay, I am imagining something and I am putting it here. तो इसको मैं कितने बार भी डाल सकता हूँ. Okay, but if it is a marker and I place in the first place or the first space, I cannot simultaneously put it in the second space. Possible है ही नहीं because it really exists. लेकिन when it is a number, okay, it exists. So what you say, it virtually exists. तो ये बार बार repetitions होता है. Okay, that's why if you see your phone number, let's say it is 998876, something like that is there. Okay, यहाँ पे repetition हो रहा है. So when it comes to numbers, numbers are naturally repeating. Okay, ये naturally repeat होते हैं. तो it is not necessary that they given the what you say exam or question that make a four-digit number and repetitions are allowed. जरूरी नहीं है. Numbers are naturally in numbers repetitions are naturally allowed. Okay, numbers में repetitions naturally allow होता है, उनको बोलने का जरूरत नहीं है. In fact, they have to tell when repetition is not allowed. They should tell that repetition is not allowed. Okay, when it comes to number, they must tell repetition is not allowed because naturally it is allowed. Okay, when it comes to alphabets, I want to make a three-letter word. Okay, let's say I want to make a three-letter word and my word is MAA. Now here also repetition is that. Okay, यहाँ पे अगर मेरे को letters what you say words बनाना है, इंग्लिश में अगर मेरे को words बनाना है तो मेरे को repetition definitely use करना पड़ेगा, otherwise it will be very limited words which I can use. मैं बहुत limited words use कर पाऊंगा. Correct? Okay, that's the reason always when it comes to numbers and alphabets, repetitions are naturally allowed. Okay, when it comes to people, when it comes to things, repetitions are not there because they really exist. Okay, but when it comes to containers, okay, containers, it because it can fill multiple objects, वहाँ repetitions हो सकता है. ओके, वहां पे रिपीटेशन हो सकता है. नाउ इफ आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट अ चेयर, ओके, इट कैन ऑक्यूपाई ओनली वन पर्सन. बट इफ आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट अ थ्री सीटर बेंच, ओके, अगर मैं एक थ्री सीटर बेंच के बारे में बात करूं, दैट रिपीटेशन इज पॉसिबल, क्योंकि वहां पे थ्री सीट्स है बेसिकली. ओके, वहां पे थ्री सीट्स है, बट लेकिन यहाँ पे व्हाट यू से थ्री सीट्स है, ये लिमिटेड नंबर ऑफ सीट्स है. ओके, it is told that if it is told it is three seats, limited number of seats hai. But when it is told it is a post box, okay, and it is not told that how many letters can be accommodated, it means that unlimited letters can be accommodated. That's how I should consider it, because I don't know 10 letters, 20 letters, 30 letters, but when it is just given post box, that means unlimited can be accommodated. So you shouldn't be having a doubt if 100 letters are there कि उतना बड़ा पोस्ट बॉक्स होगा क्या, आपको कोई मतलब नहीं. इट इज टोल्ड पोस्ट बॉक्स, इट कैन अकोमोडेट मल्टीपल लेटर्स. ओके, you should consider if it's not given, it is unlimited number of letters are can be posted. Okay, so I hope you understood it. This was the introduction for what you say permutations. Okay, in the next session we will see the most important part of permutation. There are two important part of permutations. One is formation. Okay, एक है formation और एक है arrangement. These are the two most important part of permutations. Okay, अगर ये दोनों हमारा खत्म हो गया, if you are able to understand these two properly, we can solve any question in what you say permutations. Okay, so just watch the next sessions, don't miss it. Okay, thank you so much guys, bye bye.